Okay, we have Marshall here from our ginger litter. He's going to be going home here shortly, so we're going to make his video showcasing all of his commands here, and Lauren's going to do it. Lauren's going to be the one delivering Marshall, so best to make the video with her. And Marshall's really good. He'll do commands for basically anybody. He does it great for us and our kids. He does play fetch, which is always a fun game to tire him out. He's pretty good. He actually went and got this little duck toy right out of a bin of toys, all on his own. He wants to play with it.
He found out I had treats.
I know. A minute ago, he was catching it and bringing it back.
Here, let's try this.
Yeah, maybe something else.
Good boy.
He's usually good about playing fetch and bringing things back in. Once he realizes there's treats in the hand,
Yes.
usually that's a little more enticing than toys.
He's ready to work.
But he's pretty good about drop it. Sometimes he's got to hold another toy to entice him to let go of it, but he is pretty good.
Marshall, down.
Very good. Oh,
Okay.
very good. All right, we'll take him out in the office here, and it's a little nicer of a spot. But you can tell he's got really good focus, especially once you give him a treat. He's ready to work.
Good job.
Keep a leash with us. And we'll work on a few of his commands here. In the office, nice and bright. He's usually really good about not jumping up. He's great and polite with our kids, but if he does jump up and gets excited, you just, give him a little poke, push him off, say no.
Marshall, place. Good boy. Good job.
Really good at the place command. Nice little warm up here. He does like to work.
Yes, very good.
And the release word for any command is okay. And we like to say it nice and excited. Got to think of like you're projecting the energy in your voice to what you want them to do. So when you tell them to sit, it's very calm, sit. When you tell them to go down, it's down. When you want to come, it's not just like come. You got to say come, real excited. Same with okay. It helps them realize like the tone of your voice tells them a little bit what to do.
Good boy. Stay.
Very good. So the sit command is simply, think of it like you have a string attached to their nose and you're lifting their nose up in the air to get them to sit. So it's a palm up and it's the motion, the palm up and raising your palm like up to your shoulder. That is the visual cue for sit.
Marshall, down.
Down is just simply pointing at the ground. And think of it again like you got a string on their nose and you sort of lured them and tug their nose to the ground.
Stay.
Of course, he's at the level now where you don't quite have to get right in front of his face to lure him, but when you start working with a dog, you want to give him every opportunity to know what you're communicating and then add a little more distance to that command so you don't have to quite lure him, but you can kind of, just give him the hand motion of pointing to the ground. He goes down.
Yeah, good boy. Good job, Marshall.
Good. Let's show place again. We'll give a whole
Marshall.
kind of
Place. Very good. Stay.
So the place command, it can be any place. It does not have to be an upholstered bed. Very good.
Good.
So
Stay.
very, very good. So when working with place, especially to proof it and make it, very reliable, you can't just say the word place and think of it like a magic word, but if he does break it or you look at his body language and he looks like he wants to get off, he's probably just a little unsure of what to do at that moment. If he steps a foot off, the best thing you can do is catch that before he really completely breaks it, if possible. But if you can see he's just starting to step off the place, you just walk into his space and just say, no. And then basically just with your body, tell him to get back into the correct spot. And then you can say, okay, and then, don't say okay, I'll tell him to get off. Then you just say place, give him the command again. But okay is the release word off of place. And look, we'll use a different thing for a place. And that's okay, and he gets it.
Very good. It's great to use at the vet's office.
Yeah, yep. That can be highly distracting. So, things that Marshall could work on, which he has a little bit, but I don't want to blow this little training session, but as long as Lauren's kind of got visual contact, I'm going to try to just kick a ball next to him, and we're going to correct him if he chases after the ball, because he does like this.
Place.
Good.
Good.
So that was pretty enticing. That's a distraction that we'd add to training like typical. But now I bet you, we'll put him back in.
Place.
This is actually a really good thing to see because dogs, when you teach a place command or any command,
Place.
they understand it in the context of like that everything around them is always the same. Like if there's no distractions, they think I'll hold this forever. I'll hold it as long as you want me to. But as soon as you add other factors into it, it can get confusing because they think, oh, usually when a ball gets thrown, we play. So they have to know that they have to go through the scenarios of being corrected when any other possible thing that might come along. It might be able to have somebody knock on the door and also have somebody correct them, put them back into place so they get it. But after doing that a few repetitions, like they get it, I'm going to try to not make it too enticing. I'm going to roll this ball not right past him.
Yes.
There we go.
Good boy.
Okay, but you'll hold it again. I'm going to try to add it just... There's a lot going on here. Nice distraction. Okay, I'm going to kick it right in front of him. Boy, that might be pretty enticing, but...
Yes.
There.
Very good.
So those are the kinds of things you want to think of when you want to really make a command be very, very reliable. Is you got to proof it. You got to put him in a scenario that would be enticing and be prepared to stand there, give him a little correction, put him back in the command. Then he starts getting the idea of, a ball rolling past does not mean release from the command. So he's learned that. But you practice it a few times, and he'll do other things. Maybe the ball rolling isn't the big deal. Maybe it's somebody coming to the door. So actually, I'm going to take a step out and put him in a place, and I'm going to go out. I'm going to knock on the door,
Marshall, place.
and we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to go out for just a moment. I'll go outside here. Give it about 20 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. And then... Hello?
Hello. Good job, buddy.
I'm still holding it.
Double distraction.
My son walked by, so he's doing good.
That was very good.
And I see somebody else, and he's doing good. He's holding it. Doing really good. Yep, good. So
Very
I
good.
probably couldn't quite see that in the frame, but he had the body language that kind of looked like he wanted to hop off. And Lauren just sort of took a step forward and just sort of kind of gave him the mom look of like, don't even think about it. And that's all it took for him to go, oh, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing now.
Good job. Very good. Good place. Good boy, Marshall.
So when you get him into your home, into a new home, you got to practice these in small bite-sized bits at first. It's 10 seconds on the place. And then give him a reward, give him a treat, call him off, go have fun. And then put him back on and do 20 seconds. And then call him off and have a good time. And then 30, and then 60. After a few repetitions, he's going to develop a bond, understand your sort of tone of voice, sort of your accent. And he'll be really reliable with this command. But you got to practice it. And you gotta tell him no when they break that command and put him right back in the command and leave on a high note. So they left successfully doing the command. And then this command becomes reliable for you in any situation.
Much better.
But he's quite good. Of course, he's done this many times up in my house with my kids running around. He does really good in the house. He's a really nice boy in the house. Good manners, I would say. First week or two, you're going to want to just make sure there's not little toys that are hanging around. He does get, he doesn't know everything that he can or can't pick up yet. He'll have to learn that kind of individually in a new home, but sometimes my kids have Nerf guns out and, little darts are hiding in the house and he'll just walk by and think he can put it in his mouth. So worked on that a little bit, but any little things I would say kind of somewhat puppy-proof the house, but don't go crazy. Like you want to teach him to not touch things is a better approach than simply not allowing him to ever come in contact with something he shouldn't touch. So the key to doing that is going to be to use a leash in the house, just like we have now. Of course, he's used to this area quite a bit in the office here, but this is called tethering. And I recommend for every dog that goes home, whether it's 8 weeks old or 8 months old or anything in between or even older, only 3 scenarios. That first at least few days, even a first week is a great way to do it. There's only 3 scenarios this dog is in. He is either in the kennel, or he is outside to go potty and play, or he is on a leash in your home. None of those options involve unleashed, free rein to walk around the house. That is the first, few days minimum. First week or two is even better because you're going to teach him all kinds of things when he's on a leash. If he goes to eat something he shouldn't, you give him a little tug on the leash and you say no. He's never going to have an accident. At least he's not going to surprise you with an accident, but you might catch him in the act. And then that experience of getting caught in the act and startling him and telling him no and then going outside is going to be like going to college for housebreaking. That one experience right there. So you can't get that experience unless you have them tethered to you so that they're never more than 5 feet away from you. If you give him free rein first day, he might develop some really bad habits of finding a nice, comfortable, hidden place to go potty, and then it's very hard to undo that after the first experience in a new home is going potty inside. So we do that for housebreaking purposes to really help set the tone, help you develop a schedule, but basically after they eat, sleep, or play, they should go out to go potty. Marshall is fantastic in the kennel. You can just put him in the kennel anytime. He just takes a nap, he snoozes. He has no trouble going to the kennel. He basically never barks. The only time he barks, he likes to wake up about 6 a.m. and say, I'd like to go outside, but I've been working with him lately to prolong that. This morning, I had him go till 8 o'clock in the morning, actually. So at 6 a.m., he woke up because things were happening downstairs, and he heard people moving, as he has for the past, kind of few nights in a row. I've had to get up with him a little bit earlier, but he goes to bed at like 8:30, so it's like a long stretch. But I decided I'm going to tell you no. I walk up to his kennel. I just say, no, quiet down. He goes back, settles in, and finally he's kind of broken past that barrier of just settling in, and then he sat there for another, hour or two quietly in his kennel. No accidents, no problems. But he will bark when he wants to get up, but you do not have to listen to him every time he barks. But generally after 9-10 hours in the crate, it's time to come out anyway overnight. But he does great. He does really well, and I think he's going to, not stay on that habit of trying to get up at 6 a.m. when he first goes to a new home. But he's great. Totally alone. We have him in a mudroom overnight. There's nobody else around. There's no dogs. Not usually anyway. My dog will walk past, and really none of that bothers him or phases him. So really, really happy about that level of crate training. He's just not very vocal, not much of a barker. So it's very, very nice. All right, let's go outside before we go through doorways. It's great to have a dog that's in control.
Wait.
That wait command. Huh? Yeah, we're working on that.
Good wait. Okay.
And then you invite them into the space. I like to walk through the doorway before the dogs do, and then invite them into the space. That's true whether it's getting in the car, out of a car, in a house, out of a house. And if you do that every time you go through, he's just going to be always in control and never try to charge a door or bust through a door. Marshall is fantastic on a leash. He's done really good with his leash walking skills. He's been in city environments and around distractions, and he does good. Obviously here, it's like we have a paved driveway, but it is pretty rural, so it's slightly different than maybe a downtown type area, but he's really good. The key is bring some treats with you. Get his attention. You give him a treat when he's in the right spot. He's learned very well to stay at our left side as we're walking. He doesn't walk at, an extremely fast pace or always try to pull. He almost is never pulling. And honestly, just a little tug of the leash and, just tell him to go easy. And he responds really well to that. He'll just sort of slow down. This is his typical pace. We can go faster. We can change directions whenever we want. Yeah, we'll go a little faster. We'll see if he keeps up. He'll pretty much match your pace generally. If he sees lots of other things happen, he might get a little more excited, and you might have to kind of do the little drill that we do where we just sort of change directions, turn around, just like that. Get his visual or verbal attention. Just say, hey, Marshall, turn around, look this way. And the idea is not to yank him around too much on that leash, but just to keep him as if he had no leash on. You just want him to, verbally get him to come with you.
Good job.
He's great about following you off leash. No problems at all.
Sit. Good job. Good boy. I know. Okay.
Screws the off leash. He's really good about that. At least when this isn't a very safe place to be off leash, but a big park I would have no problems taking him to. The key is getting and developing a reliable recall, which he's good about it, but it takes time with a new person. If you have treats every time you go out for an off-leash walk, anywhere you are, he's going to respond really well. So, good.
Yes, good boy.
Very key is. So something to note there. First thing you do is you get their attention. Say his name, Marshall, nice and loud. And you do not give the command. And this is true for any command. You don't give the command until he has looked at you. And you don't give the command unless he's actually looking at you. If you just say, come, and he's running away, he's probably not even hearing it. Physically, he's not even hearing it. So the key is first get their attention. Then they look at you, then you give the command. So we'll see. He's probably going to hang out with us here. We got some construction going on over here. And we'll see. We'll see if he even ever leaves our side. But if he does, I'll try to walk away with him.
He's already anticipating.
Yeah, he knows. He knows what's up. We'll see if Marshall will come over to me at all without, I don't really want to call him over, but. Come here, buddy. Yeah, squat down a little bit helps. Patting is good. That's almost as good as a treat a lot of times. And now, I'll have her. Perfect. One of the most effective things you can do is make sure you have treats when you're going to practice recall. Really good ones too. Deli meat or high value treats with meat in it. They're going to be very excited to come when called and work. But if you tell them to come repeatedly and you don't have treats, you don't have a payday, at any time they may just decide, not today, you know, and what do you got? You have no more tools left to really get their attention. So if you practice when it's low distraction, not like a life or death situation, he's going to be very reliable with this come command. But it's a use it or lose it type of command. So you want to practice that come command. Like, oh, there he goes. Yeah, but key is get their attention. Really high pitched, really excitedly, come, you know, not just like Marshall, come, you know, it's like they don't hear that. You practice when you're out and about, and then in a short amount of time it becomes reliable so that if they were to run out in traffic or somewhere that was dangerous to them, you could simply unleash the command and boom, he's going to come running to you. I've also noticed about Marshall, typically we take him for walks. He usually goes pee at least twice in an outing. One, he's usually really good about, as soon as he hits the grass, going potty pretty quickly. And then after, 5-10 minutes running around, I usually go potty one more time. So he's kind of a double peer. So I would say, just because he pees real quick, he might not be done. Give him an opportunity to really empty his bladder when taking him on an outing.
Yes.
But he's fantastic in the crate. He's going to be no trouble. He's just not going to be the kind of dog that, constantly wants total freedom. He's very chill, very relaxed, energy, pretty social. He loves, hanging out with new people and being out and about and going places. And that's basically everything. So sit down, stay. Let's do stay one more time. Let this car drive by for a second. He's off leash right now. See if we can get his attention. Put him in a little sit. Yeah, perfect.
Stay.
Car drives by. Good. The stay is a lot like place.
Stay.
Give him a little stop sign signal, hand signal. Gives him the visual reminder. And stay is meant to be, you get a little bit away. Uh-oh.
Sit. Stay.
Sometimes it takes a few repetitions to sort of get in the groove of what we're asking here.
Good. Stay.
But he's really easily correctable too.
Good job. Good boy. Okay.
Go.
Right here,
You
buddy.
backed it right up. Yep. Very close. But that's it. So sit, down, stay,
Stay.
place. Going into a kennel, very simple. Just point into the kennel or toss a treat in, and he happily will walk right into a kennel without any protest. Does really good going in there.
Good boy.
How do I get in?